This is a homepage teardown for Business Powered, a marketing company. And we're going to take a look at mainly just the homepage today. We'll be touching on 6 different topics and trying to keep it as brief but clear as possible. So the owner has a few different things he can implement quickly to get some results, but also some more long-term strategic things to think about with the site. So the first thing that I noticed when looking at the page is this above the fold section. So basically what that means is before you even scroll down the page at all, what the user is going to see when they land on your home page. And typically what you'll see is an image that takes up this whole rectangular area with an attention grabbing headline and some supportive text underneath it. And he's taken a different approach here to use 3 different areas that you can help. But what I think would be more beneficial to get some conversions in the site is to have an image that grabs the person's attention as well as a headline that can show the biggest benefit of working with you or something shocking where the person wants to read more. So basically you want to think about where the customer is at, because by having these 3 things, you're already assuming by coming to your homepage that they automatically want to work with you, that they know, like, and trust you. And if you don't have that established yet, having these 3 things, they may not even look any further on the page. So what I recommend is putting an image right here that grabs the person's attention and actually ties in well with this. This is a great attention-grabbing headline. Odds are your advertising agency and Google SEO is wrong. Okay, that's something I'd want to look a little bit more into. And, this can be supportive of that too. So this could even be your sub-headline. So I would try putting these at the very top with an image and moving these further down the page, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And this right here, this is all great supportive text. There are hundreds and hundreds of advertising agencies working to get more local Google business listings. We do much more than that, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a great little introductory paragraph. So this could go even in a little section right beneath this section that's above the fold. So you have the above the fold section with this headline, this supportive headline, and then beneath it you can have a little snippet, a little section that calls us out right here. Maybe shorten it up a little bit so you can just show them, all right, here's a unique value proposition of working with Business Powered. Here's how we can really help you, how we're different from other people. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about was the above the fold and the changes that I would implement there. The second piece is really reorganizing content on the entire homepage to really focus and think about the customer journey. So like I mentioned before, by having these 3 things right here, it's already taking the assumption that the customer knows, likes, and trusts you. But if you haven't built any of that trust, you're going to see a lot of people coming to the homepage and bouncing right off. You're not going to see a whole lot of conversions. So what you want to do is think about it from the customer's mindset of, okay, what's one of the first things that I need to know about this business? And it's, am I in the right place? Can this person help me? And after you show them that you can help them, basically that you provide the services or products that they're looking for, you need to establish some authority and build some trust by showing some credentials, testimonials, etc. So they really want to know, okay, can this person help me? Do they have the ability to help me or services that I need? And do they have the expertise to help me? And is this someone that I would want to work with too? So I would keep that in mind when you're rearranging this homepage to think about that. So instead of having the 3 areas that you can help right off the bat, focus on what you can do. So you grab the person's attention, you get them to read the next portion, which explains how you are unique, what your unique value proposition is, how you work. And And you can even take some great portions of this here, which is a lot. This is a lot of text, and someone who is just getting to your homepage isn't going to read this. It could be really awesome content, but it's pretty wordy. My recommendation would be to stick to less than 4 lines when you're writing this much text. And this is probably something that would even be better to have in a video. Video, you're going to see a little bit more engagement. People will probably watch it. I would try that out. Why work with us? What's unique about us? You can take a brief overview of all this and put it in this next section. That's your unique selling proposition, and then maybe even have a video next to it to say, click here to learn more. It'd be a great way for you to build some trust with them by showing your face, that you're a real live person, that you're not just another internet marketer hiding behind the scenes of their computer, like I am doing this recording. But it'd be a great way to build some trust and show some credibility that you're a real person, that you have a personality, which you'd be able to get across a lot better in a video as opposed to just having all this text on here. Because looking through everything that you've been able to do, you certainly have the qualifications and the education, but having it on the homepage, probably not the best place to put it. Speaking of which, like education, marketing interest, business awards, at least I would definitely put all of these on an about page. If a person wants to learn more, they can click there. So the way you can do that is by having your unique selling proposition in a little section right here. And if they want to learn more, they can watch a video. Maybe it's to the right of that. And if they really want to learn more after that, you can just have a button that says learn more about something along the lines of, click here to hear our story. Why you started this, why you want to help this specific group of people that you work with, and have that on an about page. And that's where you can put some of your specific qualifications. That's where it makes sense. If a person's wanted to learn about you up front, they may not care about this, but it can sort of put the icing on the cake later on as they're going through and learning about you, where they're like, oh, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. The next portion that I would look at reorganizing is the testimonials. So this is awesome to have. It's really important as a customer is going through your homepage and learning about you to see that you have proven results. And one of the best ways to do that is with testimonials like you have right here. But what I would do with this is change the formatting of it, switch it up a little bit. Instead of just having it be one long piece right here, try having it in 4 columns so it switches up some of the formatting of your site so it doesn't look like it's just one really, 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 really long page. This will help break up the text a little bit, break up the formatting, so it keeps the user engaged as they're looking throughout your site. So great that you have some testimonials here. Fantastic. I would just change how it's organized. And down here, whether you're looking for Google listings to grow your business, etc., your business gets found by people on Google precisely when they're searching for it. So this sort of comes out of nowhere. It's great information to know, but it doesn't tie into testimonials. So this sounds like it may go under this section right here. For your business to rank well on Google, it takes much more than SEO. This is where you can talk about why SEO is very powerful and important, because you want to educate the person on your site. If they don't know how it's going to help them, then you're potentially missing that. So it's helpful to start at ground zero with them and educate them about how Google can help them, why SEO is beneficial or necessary. So you can teach them. And these are some great aspects that you have down here. So I would focus and make sure you're touching on high level details of why SEO is important. And if they want to learn more, like you have right here, have some links where they can click here and learn more. And that's where you can have a little bit more long form content. The purpose of your homepage really is to give the customer a high level overview of some of the different aspects of your business, get to learn about you, and then you want to have those point to different portions of your site, which are in your main menu. So that will help drastically, and you can actually track that in Google Analytics to see where people are going, and look at some of the current customer paths that are already happening to see how you can improve those, which is pretty cool. So this again goes back to your unique selling proposition, how you guys go beyond why Business Powered is so much different than any other SEO company. So this right here, the portion up above that talks about, why us. You have a lot of information on that. I'd focus on consolidating it and pitching it into a unique selling proposition where you can highlight what's the, why work with you, what are the biggest benefits of working with you, and maybe even bullet those out, make it easy to read, because I can guarantee you, as a person who's first going onto your site, they're not going to read through all this. You could be God's greatest gift to the world, but if they don't have initial interest built first, and you're not making it easy for them to learn, they're not going to read through all of this. So that's one really great way to sort of initially hook them, is to provide a few bullet points of, here's the unique ways or the unique benefits of working with us. If you want to learn more, click here. And then that can either expand a section or it can link to a new page that talks about us, why we're different, which actually would be it could potentially be a very helpful page for you. And that takes us all the way down to the bottom, which is basically the next steps and your marketing guarantee. So those are all, you have a bunch of awesome content, but I just think the organization piece again needs to be changed a little bit. So it's great here to have the marketing guarantee before they even look at next steps. It covers one of the potential objections that they may have is, what if I don't like the results that I'm seeing? So you already show them up front, all right, we have a 1-year marketing guarantee. But as someone visiting your site, I have no idea what that 1-year marketing guarantee is. It sounds great, but what is it? What does it involve? Do I get to work with you for an entire year? And if I'm not happy with it, I get all my money back? So just some clarity surrounding that would be helpful. I think it's great you already have it there, but just that little tweak should help provide some more clarification. Again, for people who don't already know, like, and trust you, this really, really breaks it down into, how do I put this? Breaking it down as if they know nothing about you and making it easy for them to understand how you will work with them. This, very important to have. You're basically pointing them in the directions you want them to follow. Next steps. And what I would do here, very similar to the testimonial section, is break this out into columns. This is a lot it's difficult to read because it looks like it just goes with the rest of a Word document or a PDF document. Break it out, kind of like you have right down here. You have 3 different things. It's very, very simple to understand. And I would use some visual cues if possible, like some icons or some pictures, to help the user recognize what they should be doing to move forwards. So tells them your next recommended step to grow business and profits. Great, that's me. Select one of the following. Okay, have one here, have one here, have one here. And obviously you want to have your first one be the biggest goal that you want from people. So is that booking a free consultation? Is that getting a website audit and analysis, already paying you? That may be too much upfront. Or joining the Internet Marketing Club. My recommendation would be one of these two, because this way, if they join your Internet Marketing Club, they can get onto your email list. And then that's when they can start to know, like, and trust you more as you educate them through your email blasts. Another great option is if they've already built up enough trust with you, then they'll want to book a consultation. So that would make sense to have first. And I would have this last because it probably will be the least likely to convert people, because purchasing from someone usually takes a few touch points. So that I'd recommend having third, and either have this one, join our internet marketing club, either have that first or book a free consultation first. And you can test which one does better too, to see what ends up getting you the most new clients. But that's what I would do with that section right there. And this section right here, don't just settle for an SEO and internet marketing services form. We have years of experience, etc. This is awesome. I don't know why this is at the bottom. It's short, it's sweet. I would have this towards the top of the page, where you first start off telling people, odds are your advertising agency in Google SEO is wrong. Oh my gosh, what mistakes am I making? So then you'd want to describe, all right, here's mistakes that you're making. Here's how we're different. And have this as, have this interjected throughout there where it makes sense with a logical flow of the content. You're talking about, here's a mistake that you're making. Don't make it. Here's how we can help. Here's how we're unique. And then, hit them with, don't just settle for anything. Here's why we're the best. Here's why we are going to get you the results that you're looking for. Trust us. We will help you get there. So that's what I would do with this section. Awesome content to have. Just move it around a little bit. So that was dealing with a lot of reorganizing content on the home page, reorganizing the different sections. One piece I forgot to mention is this right here. So where I mentioned your 3 different areas to get started for your next recommended steps, you have this content duplicated on your homepage, which is good to have duplicate call to actions because you need to have that place throughout your content. If at some point the user decides, okay, I'm ready, let's move to the next steps, maybe you can restructure it a little bit. So what I would do is move these 3 areas at the top down a little bit further, after you've gone through the attention grabbing headline, why you're different, what services you provide, and then they can click here, okay, I'm confident enough to get started, let's get started. And then at the very end to definitely have another call to action, to say, here's the next steps. Make it easy for the person looking at your website to not have to think about, okay, what do I have to do to get started with this company? What are my next steps? Make it easy for them. Call it out. Say, here's your next steps. Pick one. Or here's what we recommend to get started. Would be great. You're making this easy for them. And that's part of the joy and unique service that you provide when people get to work with you. So show them that you can do that through your website. So that covers the first portion of reorganizing content to focus on the customer journey. The second piece is focusing on your menu. So right here, by looking at all this, if I'm looking for your help, I don't really know what all this stuff is, like Google search, Google local. Is this stuff for me to learn about? Is this a resource? Marketing strategies. Okay. Are these services that you provide, or are these different things that I can get educated about? Same thing with internet marketing. Same thing with consultant. What I would do is focus on changing these to focus on customers' language. So as a customer going to a place, when I want to get help with something, I'm going to look for something that says, services provided. Or, for example, if I have back pain and I'm on a chiropractor's website, I want to look to see if they can help me. So I may look for a section titled like conditions treated. So what I would do is roll some of these together into a services provided menu item or something along those lines, where it basically tells them, here's the different services that I can provide to help you out. And maybe even if these are in fact just straight resources, then providing a resources tab up here so they can click on that and look through the different resources that you have, resources, Google, or resources and marketing strategies, or maybe even have those on a blog where those are different categories. So it shows your expertise, you know what you're talking about, builds credibility there. But if they are services, just thinking about how you can reorganize that so it's simple to look at and clearly points the user in the right direction. Third thing that I would recommend is having some icons like you have right here. I didn't notice that when I was doing a preliminary list going through the site, but have as many icons or pictures as possible when you're rerunning your homepage. So like with your education, if you can find a picture of Columbia Pacific University logo, or even better, Wharton School of Business, it's a super prominent business school. Have some picture of that showing on the About page. It's a great, great way to be able to establish some authority, to say, I really am an expert. If you can get some pictures of business awards, awesome. Awesome thing to be able to show people. So having icons helps with breaking up the text. It makes it easier to read, and really makes, it breaks up the text. It makes it a lot easier to read. Which is the fourth point. There's a lot of text on the homepage. Break some of it out, trim it. Those are the two recommendations I have there. Fifth point, which was covered in Reorganizing Content, was changing layout of sections to create a little bit more diversity. So you don't want to have all of the content on the whole page just look like it's one very, very, very long page. The background is the same for this entire page. It looks like one long sales page, which can work after you've built some credibility with people, but it may not work up front. So when you have sections, I would have the background help with differentiating that. So, like this section right here, have it be a different background color than the top fold up here. It helps break up the text a little bit more, makes it easier to read, helps the user stay engaged, and makes them feel like they're not looking at one long page to read. And the last thing, which is probably the most important thing, is think about what's the goal of the homepage, and make sure that when you're restructuring it, you are thinking about your end goal as you're building all of that. And you want to make sure that each and every single section slowly starts from them not knowing you at all to building more credibility, more authority, overcoming objections, showing testimonials that you can get results, ultimately towards the very, very bottom, where they can finally get to a point where they're like, you know what? I know this guy now. I feel like I know him. I like him. He's personable. I saw a video. That's awesome. And I trust him. He's gotten results for other people. He helps me feel like I'm confident in his abilities by talking about some, potential problems that people usually have, or some objections that I had. He overcame them. I'm at a point now where I know I can trust him and I want to work with him. So what's the goal of the homepage? Is it to book a free consultation? Is that the most important thing? Is it to connect in one of these areas, or is it to get them to subscribe to your newsletter? And whatever that is, I'd have that as your biggest call to action on the bottom. My guess is it's a free consultation. This way you can get the person's contact information, you get to talk to them on the phone, develop trust even further. So I'd have that there too. And even to collect people's email addresses, it looks like you're using WordPress. I would install some sort of pop-up plugin where you can snag the person's email address right when they get on your page. You can offer them some great lead magnet, like the 10 SEO mistakes that most companies are making and don't even realize it. You can use that as a great way to build some trust with your audience and give away some content so they're more likely to buy from you in the future. And it's a great way to start building your customer database. So I wouldn't totally remove this. I would just have it come up as a pop-up, and then even have it on the bottom of the page as well, where you can just provide some more value to them before they look at different portions of your site or end up leaving. So there's the homepage breakdown for you. Hope you enjoy it and that it provides a lot of value.